Alright, so today I'm going to be diving into the life of Bray Wyatt. I wanted to make a video on the history of a wrestler, and I was thinking, who should I do this video on? And then I thought of Bray Wyatt because he has been through a lot of different transitions in his wrestling career. I know him as far back as Husky Harris, and I know he must have done a fair bit before that as well, so Bray Wyatt has really went from a scrub to taking the dub. Yeah. So this is hopefully going to be a very informative video. I'm going to be doing a fair bit of research and really getting the details on how Bray Wyatt pretty much came up on the wrestling scene and eventually transformed into The Fiend, which is one of the hottest characters, I would say, right now in the wrestling industry. But as we all know, Bray Wyatt was not always The Fiend, so let's get right into the history of Bray Wyatt. And first things first, I actually want to find out what his real name is. Is it Bray Wyatt or is it something else? I think it's something else. Well, I'm not too sure. It could be Bray Wyatt. I just don't know. Okay, here we go. Bray Wyatt, real name. Let's find out what it is. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I'm saying that because his Instagram is literally Wyndham Rotunda or something like that. But I never really stopped and thought, what does that mean? Obviously that is his name, but I still didn't really know that, you know? I just kind of looked at his Instagram and thought, oh, that's a unique name. Not sure why he is using that, but that's just his real name. And that is a very unique name, Wyndham. Or is it Windham? I would assume it's pronounced like Wyndham, you know, Wyndham, 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 Windham. I'm not too sure, but wow, that is a pretty special name, to be honest with you. I don't think I will ever hear of another person called Wyndham in my life. So Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda is the real name of Bray Wyatt, so that's pretty cool. That is pretty damn nifty. So that's a pretty nice starting point. If anyone didn't know Bray Wyatt's name, then there you go. Good old Wyndham. Bray Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda Wyatt, the Fiend. The Universal Champion, soon to be. That's the full name, boys. 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 Okay, so let's just go ahead and look up the history of Bray Wyatt. And let's see where it all began. So he was born in 1987. So he is, what, 32 years of age. Still pretty fresh. Fresh out the womb. Well, no, not that fresh, Jesus. But you know, he's still got a lot of years left in him as a wrestler, which is nice. Rotunda is a third generation professional wrestler, which means he had a dad who was a wrestler and a granddad who was a wrestler, I think. Is that what that means? Third generation? Yeah, makes sense. So he was following in the footsteps of his grandpappy, Blackjack Mulligan. His name was Blackjack. Yo! Oh no, that's his ring name. Oh, okay, yeah. I was about to say, though, Blackjack is the most badass name you could possibly give your child. In fact, I might name my son Blackjack if I have one. That is just badass. Unreal. And his father, Mike Rotunda. Mike! And two of his uncles, Barry and Kendall Wyndham. So his uncles had the surname Wyndham, which is probably why Bray was named Wyndham. Okay. His younger brother, Taylor Rotunda, also performs in WWE under the name Bo Dallas. Okay. Yeah, if you don't know, Bo Dallas is the brother of Bray Wyatt. I did know that, but when I first heard that, I was like, that really took me by surprise. But then it does make sense, you know, you can see in their faces, they do kind of have similarities, so yeah. So alongside his brother, he held the FCW Florida Tag Team Championships twice, while in WWE's developmental territory, Florida Championship Wrestling. So I have heard a bit about this. So back in the day, I guess this was similar to NXT. I know the likes of Sheamus went there, Drew McIntyre, probably a ton of wrestlers competed in FCW before making the move to the main stage in WWE, of course. Raw sauce! Oh, look at this. AJ Lee, Oksana, Del Rio, Alex Riley, Alicia Fox, Cesaro, Brad Maddox, the Dirty Brie Bella, Brutus Clay, Big E, Camacho, Cameron, Kurt Hawkins, I mean, Daniel Bryan, David Otunga, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler. I mean, pretty much everyone was in FCW at some point, you know? Except for like the really new wrestlers that we see in NXT today, of course. So back to Bray Wyatt. Let's see, where were we? Where were we? Where were you? Where are you now that I need you? Do 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 do. So in FCW he wrestled under various ring names between 2009 and 2012. Give me the names, bro. What? I want to know these names. I will find that out in a second if we don't get to see. He also briefly wrestled on WWE's main roster from 2010 to 2011 under the ring name Husky Harris. There we go, Husky Harris. If you haven't seen Husky Harris, I shall show you Husky Harris. This is Bray Wyatt in his ultimate form right here. That's a joke. But yeah, so Husky Harris was looking like that. He was a part of the Nexus with, I think it was, come on, I know this. Yeah, it was with CM Punk, not Wade Barrett, I think. If I got that right. I've done my research, trust me, and that he was a part of the new Nexus, right? Right. You know, I've been watching wrestling for a year, so I have gone back and tried to learn all these things, and I think I've got that right. But don't come for my head if I haven't. Okay. Okay. Is that him? I mean, here's a before and after photo right here. He did look pretty different back in the day. Didn't have as many tattoos either, had shorter hair. You can tell it's him, but I reckon some people even don't know this, and when they think of Husky Harris, they still think of him as a different person than Bray Wyatt because he does look pretty damn different, you know? I mean, a lot of people wouldn't see that as Bray Wyatt, you know? Not at all. And I also need to look up Bray Wyatt's ring names, you know, because I do want to see what else he had going for himself back in FCW. Let's have a little gander. So, ring names: Alex Rotunda, Axel Mulligan, Bray Wyatt, of course, Duke Rotundo, Husky Harris, and the Fiend Bray Wyatt. And he also had his real name there, Wyndham Rotunda, at some point as well. Wow, okay. So he has been known as a few different identities, you know. But of course now he is the Fiend. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. He was most notably as a member of the Nexus in his Husky Harris days, of course. After returning to WWE's developmental territories, Rotunda was rebranded as Bray Wyatt, the villainous cult leader of the Wyatt family, and that is when Bray Wyatt really started making moves in his career. The Wyatt family ended up being a really successful faction, had some very memorable matches with the likes of The Shield. I can't really think of anything else right now, but yeah, The Shield at Elimination Chamber one year was a match that I recently checked out, and my god, that was epic. So, with the group eventually making its main roster debut in 2013, Wyatt went on to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships with Luke Harper and Randy Orton under the Freebird rule, which is the three people that win 2 championships and they just sort of rotate, yeah. So yeah, Randy Orton joined the Wyatt family, which is very strange to me. I know that's how they built up to the match between Wyatt and Orton at WrestleMania 33 for the WWE Championship, but that's so weird to think that Randy Orton was once upon a time a part of the Wyatt family, because he just doesn't fit, you know, like at all. Like, yeah. So he won the WWE Championship once, and then he also won the Raw Tag Team Championships with Matt Hardy once, and they were known as, come on Scott, dive deep into your mind. The Leaders of Worlds, I think. After taking a hiatus in August 2018, Wyatt returned to WWE programming in April 2019 with a new gimmick of a children's entertainer, and this is where things just took a very strange and very unexpected turn but for the better. I remember as well, I was watching at this stage, so when I saw Bray Wyatt come back, that was like the first time I saw Bray Wyatt present and live, you know? So yes, when this whole children's TV show gimmick started, I was like, this is very, very cringy, and like, it's one of those things where if my mum came in and I was watching that, I would be very embarrassed. That's a good way to put it. But as time went on, it did actually make for a good storyline, and then of course gradually over time the Fiend came to life. I remember as well, like, the Fiend kept getting hinted in the Firefly Funhouse shows, and yeah, that was a good time, to be fair. Sorry, just getting possessed, it's alright. So the show was called the Firefly Funhouse, while simultaneously debuting a sinister alter ego known as the Fiend. Shortly after the in-ring debut of his Fiend character, he won the Universal Championship for the first time, becoming a two-time World Champion in WWE, and the rest is pretty much history. We haven't really expanded the Bray Wyatt character any further. Of course, he was the one to introduce the Blue Universal Championship, which, to be honest with you, I just don't like that. I really don't like that. The Blue Championship to me just is not appealing and is nowhere near as good as the red one. I guess that's because red's my favourite colour, but still, like, I preferred the days when the WWE Championship was on SmackDown and the Universal Championship was red and on Raw. Well, I guess we're not going to be going back to them days. Oh, early life. Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda was born in the Tampa suburb of Brooksville, Florida. On May 23rd, 1987, he attended Hernando High School. We get to see his high school? Bro, we are diving deep! If anyone watching this video is from Florida and you've heard of Hernando High School, or you go there yourself, I'm sure this will come as a shock. Or maybe if you already go there, then you know about Bray Wyatt going there, since he probably has like a big plaque somewhere, you know. Bray Wyatt, very successful wrestler that went to this school. Our teachers trained him to be successful, and it was all us, because that's how it really goes, you know. The schools of famous people really capitalise on situations like that, you know. They're like, yes, he was a very well-respected student, always followed the rules, and we guided him to success. So he won a state wrestling championship in his high school at 275 pounds, okay, in 2005. So he was a wrestler, as in like a wrestler, like a grappling, you know, high school wrestler. And he also played football as a defensive tackle and guard, okay. So he was always, I guess, very sporty, very aggressive, you know. He was probably like a jock, you know, big tough wrestler, big tough football player, you know. So it does make sense as to why he is now where he is. Rotunda played at the College of the CYA for 2 seasons, earning a second team All-American honours as a sophomore offensive guard. He earned a football scholarship to Troy University, where he played Collegiate. Wash your mouth with Colgate. Football for 2 years. Collegiate. BT. He left Troy 27 credit hours short of earning a bachelor's degree after deciding to become a wrestler. So he just dipped out because wrestling was going well for him, and that was, in the end, the best move. So I think that's pretty much going to be it for the history of Bray Wyatt. I know I've only looked at Wikipedia, but Wikipedia does have it all. I'm sure this was a pretty long video, but we did go deep into the life of Bray Wyatt and how he went from zero to hero, pretty much. Scrub to collecting dubs. Rags to riches. Poor man to rich man. So I think we should give a little round of applause for Mr. Rotunda. So drop a like on the video for me if you guys have enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.